Welcome to the CIO podcast, where we talk to leaders who are driving AI implementations in large enterprises. We talk to them so that their peers can learn from their experiences. We talk to them so that others who want to follow in their footsteps get inspired by them. And we talk to them so people who are looking for AI opportunities understand the amazing things they are doing. And it creates an opportunity for them to attract that talent so that we democratize AI talent. And today, we are really thrilled to welcome back Dr. Nenad Mijatovic with us. Nenad is the Director of Data and AI at Alstom. Thank you so much for being with us again, Nenad, in Amsterdam live.
I'm so thrilled to be here and really great to see you in person. So really my pleasure.
Yes, it's my pleasure, Nenad. And for our global audience, and we did this before, give them just a brief idea of what Alstom is and your role within Alstom.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Alstom is the biggest railway and mobility provider in the world. So we are specialized in transportation. So we're fully focused only on that segment of the business. And we build everything from trains. So maybe you even enjoy our trains here in Amsterdam. I hope that everything went well. We build a metro. We build the people movers on airports. We also build the signaling systems as well as the turnkey solutions. After we build everything, we basically put our maintenance contracts in place. So we're proud that we have more than 250 different projects worldwide. We are available in more than 60 countries all over the place, 85,000 employees, a lot of engineers, majority of them engineering, right? And right now we are building a big presence in a digital, and we are in a great position because, as I mentioned, we are specialized in this niche market, and then we are embracing all these new technologies, one of them being AI.
Well, that's exciting. As you rightly said, right here in Amsterdam is an example of your technology and your products, the trains and the metros, and around the world. You know, are there specific AI applications in use at Alstom that you can tell your peers and our listeners about?
Absolutely, absolutely. So, what is super exciting about AI? AI is really everywhere, right? So, if you just walk this show, right, everyone talks about AI on the edge, AI on the cloud, responsible AI, etc. And that is very much what we do in Alstom. So, first of all, we are making sure that when we build our products, our systems, right, we're helping the business to speed up the design process as well as the delivery process. So we found that AI is a nice tool for that because it can help us, making sure that the requirements are better written. We have the better coverage in the requirements. We're doing the validation, and also we are making sure that when we build the new trains, people would love to see how they're going to look like, right? So what is a better tool than generative AI nowadays? We are also making sure that once when we deliver our trains, we can put the maintenance uh, services in place. So we have quite a bit of solutions within the company, Train Tracer, Health Hub, which are basically, first of all, collecting the data from our trains. We are also analyzing the data, putting the data in some kind of KPIs, putting the automatic reporting at the end. But also, there's a lot of AI that we deploy, understanding when the specific part is going to break. So, for example, the train will not going to run if HVAC is not working. They will not move the train if the toilet is not working, right? So just imagine we need to come up with very, very reliable algorithms to predict when these subsystems are going to break. Then we're huge on energy savings. So we are making sure that overall our energy systems are using less energy, which is super important nowadays. So our target is right now anywhere between 5 and 15%, which is on a large scale, huge savings for the customers. But Also, we are reducing CO2 footprint. So one of the main goals of the company by 2050 is have the zero CO2 footprint in the industry. So this is super exciting to be part of it and helping with our little contribution using the AI tools to reach that goal. And there's a lot of auxiliary kind of functions within Alstom that we are helping with, such as engineering processes, engineering tools, HR functions, etc. So really, I mean, I'm super proud to say that we are kind of working as a small startup within a huge company, and everyone is coming with new innovative ideas with the new kind of ways of using the technology to improve their daily lives.
Oh, that's incredible. From designing trains, preventive maintenance, sustainability, energy, HR. My gosh, it seems like obviously with such a large corporation. Ninad, how do you decide which use cases to focus on? Because with such a vast organization, there must be literally hundreds or even thousands of use cases. So your peers want to understand how to pick and what to pick in terms of what should be the criteria for those use cases.
That is fantastic question. So thanks for asking that. And we got these questions at the very beginning when we started our journey, right? So right now we have a rigorous methodology to select the specific use case because as long as we would love to do the stuff, the day is limited, and also I do have the limited resources to do so, right? So what we do is we provided a specific set of questions based on which we can weight every of the incoming requirements for the new business. For example, I will give you concrete examples of some of these questions because I believe that people can, reuse it. First of all, without the data, we cannot do much. Okay, so that is the one of the first criteria, data availability, but also the next step is the quality of the data. So can we really use this data to develop the specific use cases? The next one is, the targeting platform. So where this algorithm is going to live. Are we going to deploy it on a train? Are we going to deploy it on the cloud? Are we going to deploy it on your laptop or on a phone, right? So based on that, we're also selecting the specific technology to apply to, right? And then the last one, sorry, there's one more, which is super, super important, is we are just the poor data scientists. So we don't know much about the industry. So we rely heavily on our métiers. And we are so privileged to have the best brains of mobility industry working for Alstom. So really, collaboration with them is a pleasure. And we're learning a lot from them about the data, about the way how trains are working, but also they learn from us, what does it mean to be a data scientist, or, what does it mean AI really in reality? So that is the third bit criteria. And finally, which is the most important for the business, is how much money we can save. Can we build the trains faster, better? Can we get the larger margins, right? And also, can we improve the efficiency of our people? Can we reduce the energy, and can we reduce the CO2 footprint, right? So as you can see, these are kind of the four big groups, and within those we have a small questions that we ask people to, and then based on that we weight the answers and we decide which one is a go, which one is a no-go, because for some of the use cases we just cannot go because that's the reality, and which use cases we should shell and kind of wait for a better time to resurrect them later on.
Well, that's very helpful. So for our listeners who are looking at use cases, I think Nenad pointed out four key pieces is, do you have data? Quality of data, where is the data going to reside on? Working with the subject matter experts within your mobility or within your enterprise. And then obviously, is this going to save money or is it going to increase sales, etc.? I think that's very, very helpful, Nenad. The last point that you made, Nenad, there is something that comes up by your peers a lot is how to figure out the return on investment for these investments, because the CFO keeps beating down on some of these people and saying, okay, you want so much money, how will I get return on investment, etc. So how do you figure that out?
So right now, that is one of the key questions that we ask them to provide to us. Okay, so it's either money or it's either the percentage of the time to market, which is equally important, right? Sometimes you cannot put that figure in a money, right? In a dollar sign. So for example, right, if we, and right now we do have a solution to optimize the way how you're going to put all these subsystems on the train, right? So before that, it was either manual work, so a lot of time and a lot of experience the people needed to do. After that, we came up with this is combinatorial problem. Okay, with the combinatorial problem, it's very time consuming. So sometimes you wait for days, right, for the solution that might not be the most optimal one. And finally, right now we're using the AI to do so. So we figured out that we only using this kind of solutions, we can save 60% of the time of the experts. So then you can translate that into the dollar/euro sign to understand how much money we can save to the company, right? But it's not always about the money, it's about time to the market. It's making sure that we deliver our solutions on time. And that is one of the most important things for Alstom nowadays.
So, as Ninad said, maybe it is sometimes saving cost in terms of time, but it also could be time to market, because speed is very, very important in the hyper active world we live in. Ninad, you are in the world of mobility, transportation, where data and data security and privacy become very important. How do you look at that, and how do you implement that within Alstom with what you do?
Absolutely. So that's a great question as well. So first of all, there is a data privacy based on all of us as riders on the trains, right? So for example, when we do the number of counting of number of people on board or on a station, right? We do that by following all these GDPR rules. Okay, so we're making sure that we are not infringing any of the data privacy topics. We are also making sure that sometimes for some of our projects, right, we Alstom doesn't own the data, so it's data on from the customer point of view, right? And in that sense, we are putting not only the data kind of science, the AI part, but it's super important to put all this security and safety and cybersecurity tools in place. So one of the biggest topics in Alstom is cybersecurity. So making sure that the data from the customers are basically safely saved on some of the either cloud devices on-prem or maybe or even on a a locomotive, for example. Okay, and that is not an easy task because traditionally, we are not coming from the cybersecurity. However, we do have a lot of experience in a physical security of the infrastructure as well as the locomotives, right? So at the end of the day, that kind of marriage between physical and a cyber, right, give that competitive edge of Alstom in front of the competition. That's why when I said that we're super specialized in a mobility, right? That is where where all these use cases are coming from.
No, that's great to know. Cybersecurity is very important. Data depends on where it resides. It's very, very important. And you talked about GDPR. Uh, the EU has passed the EU AI Act. Uh, what is Alstom's perspective on the EU AI Act and other AI-based regulations around the world?
We are definitely following all the regulations very, very closely. So from Canada, the USA, China, Australia, all over the globe, really. I mean, because as I mentioned, we're present everywhere, right? And most recently, the most comprehensive AI regulation pushed by EU, right? A couple of months ago, it is something what we are monitoring closely. So we do have the team within the company which is taking care of all these regulations, right? Making sure that whatever is going to affect us as the company, as our products, as well as our processes, we put in place. Okay, so that's what we do. We are basically recognized as safety critical applications. Okay, so for us, we are really taking this into on the next level, and it is super important for us because Alstom is, and there is also misunderstanding between the safety applications that Alstom as a provider of the trains and all these, you know, safety critical applications, meaning that you and me enjoy, you know, riding the train safely from point A to point B. There is a lot of safety related functions within a train to make sure that we're safe and comfortable. Okay, and there is also the piece of the safe AI part, right? Which making sure that when we develop AI, it will not harm, you know, people, goods, or whatever, right? So we cannot really put the equation mark between, you know, the two, but we are understanding right now what is going to be the implications of the EU Act. Definitely, there is one at least, okay, yes, and how we are going to do it. We're also looking at the different standards. So, for example, recently, the technical committee 42 or 46, I believe, they released ISO 5469, which basically talks about the safety functions in AI systems. And we're also looking at that because that is the one which will hit us big time. And of course, if we want to do the business in Europe by 2027 and onwards, right, we need to make sure that we're compliant with the regulations. And not only compliant on an EU level as a global, but on the level of every single individual EU member state, right? So that will be a lot of work for us, but we are now teaming up only with not only, you know, inside, we're not working on this inside the company, but we're also teaming up with the other players, like industrial players outside, in a similar, you know, kind of position like us, as well as research institutions, universities, etc. So again, I think that, of course, definitely we're going to follow, but also it is matter of collaboration. So it is super important that we share like we do here, right? And on this forum, and really, thank you so much, really, for doing everything, you know, for us. I'm really a huge fan and reading all your posts and stuff, and I'm learning every single day. But it is basically about that: is sharing and understanding, you know, how I can gain something from other folks, right? And also, I hope that they can learn something from us as well, because as I mentioned, whatever we do must be the safety critical case. And also, if I can say one more thing, is right now we are putting a lot of effort of using the AI. Many of these cases that I explained to you are part of what we call non-safety critical applications, right? But the way how we are thinking of AI and data science and all algorithms that we put in place is that we want to check all boxes related with the trustworthy AI. So then later on, when we move into the safety critical applications, right, Alstom would be ready. So that is our strategy right now.
So you are being very proactive with the EU Act, but across the world with the different regulations, and within the European Union also with the different country regulations also, and also following ISO standards and things of that nature. And what you said at the end, I think, makes a lot of sense. This could become a strategic advantage for you as you're building this capability of trustworthy AI. Nenad, in doing some of these things, and this is really a question from your peers, does somebody like in your role have to kind of also become at least a semi-expert in regulation and governance and have wear multiple different hats working with so many different groups?
You're you're right in this case, right? And we within Alstom, we do have experts taking care of the standards and regulations which are related with our industry. Because I'm saying that we're working towards the same goal to to expand that group and making sure that they're also supporting us for data scientists, right, to understand what the governments are thinking of, what the bodies are thinking of, right, and how we should be compliant in order to have our solutions in a couple of years or decades, right? Maybe the timeline is a little bit too aggressive, to be honest with you, because if you look at all the standards related with the traditional software, right? I mean, they are, some of them are 20, 30 years, 40 years old, right?
Yeah.
And we're still kind of enhancing them. So this is a great start. It is great to have the push. I fully agree, but and also to answer your questions very specifically is yes, within the Alstom we do have the team looking into all these standards and regulations and feeding us with all information in order to follow the rules and how all these regulations will have an impact on Alstom.
One point that you made, and this is something I just wanted to briefly follow up. You talked about collaboration a lot. For your peers, how important is it to obviously have inter-company collaboration, but external collaboration, maybe with associations, academic institutions, incubators, whatever? Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So what we are doing right now, especially for the trustworthy AI, we are building consortium with other players that we recognize from academia as well as from industry as well as other industries similar to ours where we can learn. And there are multiple things what we are trying to do. The first one is making sure that the data science and AI methodology that we all going to use and enjoy, right? And methodology is not something that everyone enjoys, right? We like to be free spirits and do something quickly, but at the end of the day, we're in a professional environment and you need to follow the steps, right? So that is the first thing that we are working on. The second one is within the methodology, like data validity, quality, training of the models, validation of the model, etc. Right? All these different steps should be tested independently from the actors, right? So in that sense, we're also looking for the collaboration to pick the right tools for different steps within when we're designing, delivering, and maintaining the algorithms. Okay, and then finally, what is super important for us is which use cases we are going to pick to have the algorithms tested all the way throughout the methodology, right? And in that sense, this is the tricky one, okay? Because within this use cases, we might be, revealing some of the specifics of our own business. That is exactly what we don't want to do, right? And this is where we would like to work with other folks, understanding similarities with their use cases and how we can utilize their solutions. An example might be the following, right? So there was one consortium which was detecting the runways for the planes, right? Runways is something what we in a railway don't have, right? Yeah. However, detection of the rails, right, is something similar use case. Yeah. So we would like to learn how they did certification of that algorithm, right, for the runway, because we might learn and get, and apply that to the detection of the railways.
Wow. So lots of collaboration on figuring out which model to use, collaboration on trustworthy AI that you're trying to build this consortium, collaboration on use cases. So the message is collaborations are important, obviously keeping your business in mind, and you're doing it within your industry. You're not shifting to the issue of talent, because finding, the right talent is a challenge across the world for organizations. And one of the reasons we do this is to give folks like you an opportunity. Tell the people who are listening to you here and everywhere, what kind of skills do you look for when you look to bring somebody in your incredible, small but incredible team?
When what you're doing really is amazing, right? Because it's such a noble kind of cause, right? To help us really find the right talent for the better tomorrow. Um, what we do, right? We have a bunch of different ways how we attract the people, right? New talent. We are providing in a different countries within a different development centers, right? We have a close collaboration with academia. So we have this nice, stream of talents which will come work for us as the interns. We have a time face to face. They learn what we do. We learn who they are, right? And then we, in many cases, right, we kind of pursue that on the next level. The second one is exactly what we do right now. I think people nowadays, especially the young grads, right, they like to work for the company with a purpose. And we are right now really on the front end of giving people opportunity to go to work, to go to school, to see the loved ones, right, to enjoy this event, right, on very economical way. And that is what the people like to do. Another thing is they like to move from one project into another, right? So it is super exciting that within the team, as I mentioned at the very beginning, we have so many different projects that you can easily kind of jump from maintenance into the energy analytics, into the passage accounting, right? I mean, there's so many different options within a team that you can really learn a lot as a data scientist. And I'm not saying here only as a young data scientist, but also as a senior as well. We are having within the team, we are having the mandatory, so great to say, but it is part of our work, right? Reading the papers, okay? Because only today, I bet that there are like at least 100 new algorithms, published by the people out there, right? We cannot master them all. So what we do is we basically, as a data scientist, we need to, feed our scientific part with the new advances in our field, right? Which is extremely, extremely important. And that is the shared part. So just think about it, right? I learned something and I explained to all of you guys, right? So you all benefit from it, right? And that is something what is really, really important. So again, I think the purpose, having the team really kind of energetic team and having super exciting jobs and use cases is something what people you get people excited to join Alstom and other folks.
I think it's a great opportunity, a mission-driven company, opportunity to move around, but also Nenad is giving you an opportunity to self-learn by setting aside time for learning because everybody knows things are moving so fast. There is no way, unless somebody puts a special brain, a chip in your brain to kind of do this. So a fantastic opportunity for people to join Alstom. Finally, what do you see in the mobility sector in terms of AI that coming down in the future that kind of excites you? In terms of innovations, is there anything that you're kind of keeping an eye on?
Absolutely, absolutely. So there is first of all, I believe that data science and AI will really, kind of have their roots in our industry. So everything is great, right? Everything is perfect. But if you think about, if I go back to the example of a software, right, where really the software is so importantly written on a specific way within industrial applications that is the next level from anyone else, right? And I believe that will be the same way to data science and AI algorithms. So we're really going to make sure that we're going to put them on a level that everyone will trust them. Everyone will be able to use them and they will become an integral part of our industry. So that is something what really kind of excites me. And also making sure that, again, going back to the 250 projects, right? Just imagine, right? Every single project, hundreds of different locomotives and trains. So really what excites me the most is that we deploy our algorithms on all of them. Okay, that will be, I mean, really, this will be the ultimate goal, right? And I hope that, no, I'm not saying the next year, but in the following years, we are going to have that goal achieved.
Exciting things coming down the pike. Nenad, at the end, we have this lightning round of questions, just one word answers from you, just a few of them, just interesting light since we are in this huge conference area in beautiful Amsterdam. You ready?
I am
Okay. GPU or TPU?
GPU,
Okay. Open source or closed source?
open source,
Okay. Let's say edge computing or cloud computing?
edge.
Okay. Um, I think that's about it. You kind of hit all of them pretty well. Ninad, thanks so much for taking the time. Really, this has been fantastic. And for our listeners, Ninad's experience in mobility, in data, in AI just is incredible, and his vision in terms of where things are moving. And I hope all of you found it as important and valuable as I did. And keep listening to the podcast for insights from leaders like Ninad, because uh, we need to keep shaping the future as it happens. Keep subscribing and keep liking. Thank you, Ninad.
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I
Thank
enjoyed a
you.
lot. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah.